Hello, welcome to Thank You Internet.
A sincere love letter to everything the internet has to offer.
My name's David Spencer.
My name's not David Spencer. And it may or may not be Michael Hunter. We'll see.
All right, from now on, I'm going to say my name's not Michael Hunter, and you're going to say my name's not David Spencer. That's happening now. You started it.
Okay.
Can't go back.
All right.
Can't go back.
I am not David Spencer.
You can never go back.
So today we are going to be interviewing Rachel Tietz, who is more famously known for being on the crew and cast of the Nostalgia Critic series.
A.K.A. Evelina.
A.K.A. The Daughter of Satan. And that's not a joke. That is actually her character.
Oh, I thought you were saying that's actually her. Like, in real life, she is the daughter of Satan, but that's not a joke.
No, I mean, I have to be careful for what I say. Because we don't want her to be like, take it down, you guys. I am offended.
No, you know what? Screw it. Let's just offend Rachel for no reason.
Okay.
I legitimately have no basis to offend her. But, you know what? This sounds like fun. So, hey, Rachel. Your left shoulder is too far wide.
What's up with that?
Yeah, what's up with that left shoulder?
The left shoulder is,
yeah.
I mean, it's so out there. What is it? Left outfield?
But yeah.
Yeah, no, but we're interviewing Rachel today, and we're gonna be asking her about her involvement with the Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker. For those who don't know, Doug Walker, or the Nostalgia Critic, he is amongst the plethora of internet movie reviewer people that talk about movies that are more or less sometimes contemporary movies that are just coming out right now, but a lot of the times it's classic movies or
nostalgia, would you say?
Yeah, nostalgic movies, sure, of our childhood and his childhood.
You know, this is one of the things I love about, like, just before we get into the interview, this is one of the things I love about, like, the internet and the content you can put on the internet is, like, you've got these review shows, but it's no longer just Siskel and Ebert, like, sitting around giving movies thumbs up. They have gotten way more complex, way more specific, and, like, it's just like, no, I can't just say whether or not a movie's good or bad. I have to go back and choose a specific movie and then, like, create insane elaborate sketches around this movie, because that's what Doug Walker does. That's what the Nostalgia Critic does.
Yeah, honestly, that's a very popular form of reviewing nowadays too, because Doug Walker does that for movies, and he was one of the first people to really do that, and now he's attracted a huge following, as well as has a whole team of that guy with the glasses, where a bunch of reviewers are all on his site. And same could be said for video games, with the Angry Video Game Nerd. Now we have JonTron, Kadikarus, and, I don't know, that one video gamer who also completes the game in 100% completion as well as reviews it. Like, oh my gosh. And they all have that form of, I'm going to create a story within the story and make it work, and also make it very theatrical at the same time. And it doesn't stop with just audio and video shows either. It actually goes on to internet reviewers on blogs and even podcasts.
Well, yeah. Well, like, so we were talking about, like, wanting to discuss, like, weird internet review things before we go to our interview, and so I was thinking to just, like, any, like, review stuff I listen to a bunch of typical film reviews, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's How Did This Get Made is one of my favorite things, which is a podcast hosted by Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas and June Diane Raphael about just reviewing awful, awful, awful movies, and it's super entertaining. But I think one of the best review shows there is called The Worst Idea of All Time Podcast. You know what? It's kind of unfair to call it a review show, but they do review movie. Well, they review a movie. Well, they review every day, or not every day, every week for a year. They watched and reviewed Grown Ups 2. Every week they rewatched it and re-reviewed it.
What?
Every week for a year.
Why would you? That's torture. That sounds like something that they would make of someone in a psychiatric ward do.
Amazing to hear these guys like slow descent into madness because they're reviewing Grown Ups 2. Yeah.
So can they do that with Paul Blart too?
No, they actually just started their next movie, and it's Sex in the City 2.
Okay.
But that's like, again, that's one of the fun things about the era we live in is like you can do crazy, crazy stuff. And like, and that's not quite the same thing as like a lot of those YouTube reviews where it's like this high production stuff. But it's I mean, I guess it's kind of like what podcasts are about anyways, is finding really, really, really specific topics. That is an insanely specific pitch and concept for a podcast, but it's amazing.
Well, I mean, another thing too, even getting out of the audio visual realm, we have textual. Anybody can be a critic nowadays with the internet. Anybody can be a critic, and what I love is, like, I mean, I can't remember the names specifically, but I love it when web comics review movies. Like, even if it's not technically a review, it's like, hey, so this happened in this movie, and I'm gonna disprove it, or hey, this happened in this movie, and there's no logic behind it, so I'm gonna point it out, and it's even something as simple as that, like, or how it should have ended.
Yes.
Like I know that we're kind of jumping back into the visuals.
Yeah.
But still,
how it should have ended is brilliant.
Yeah, like it's
because it's able to talk about something about a movie, an apparent flaw in a movie, in a very different way than just saying, hey, like one of my favorite things they did, I think it was in their Iron Man episode, that it cuts back, they always cut to like Batman and Superman sitting in the diner, and then it's just Iron Man sitting there, and he's like, yeah, and well, then I killed him, and they were like, wait, you killed your villain? You can't do that. And he was like, what did you do next? It was like, well, and then I told everybody that I'm Iron Man. Wait, you did what? You can't reveal your secret identity? And it's just like, why not?
Or oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, it's a really unique way to like discuss content of something.
Exactly. Oh, two other things too that I can add to that. Another really popular YouTube channel right now is the movie trailer.
Honest Trailers?
Yeah. Honest Trailers. Yes, you read my mind.
Yes.
So with Honest Trailers, they basically do the exact same type of thing, except they take the movie trailer, or they make a movie trailer and just tear the movie apart.
Not necessarily.
Well, no. In a good way.
Yeah,
like,
it's in a loving way.
Yeah, no. To tear a movie apart isn't necessarily a bad thing, to be honest. Like you can to dissect it and to that's what most movie critics do. But what they do is, like even Toy Story wasn't safe. They completely just. Oh God.
Well, it's like I prefer that over like the Everything Wrong with Blank in 6 minutes. Like I am not a fan of those videos.
I don't like that either.
Because
it's too negative. It's too negative.
Whereas Honest Trailers, like, it always feels like it's coming from a place of love.
Right. Or and even to a degree, the bad lip reading.
Yeah, I love.
Sometimes
bad lip readings.
they kind of make fun of the movies themselves. I mean, obviously that's the point, but
yeah.
But there's certain things that sometimes they even like edit in little jokes of like, why are you doing this? And then like the person does it. Especially with sports, you'll notice that even with the sports, it's just like. Yeah, nothing is safe on the internet from being critiqued. But yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know what else to say to that.
But well, let's go ahead and just start going into our interview then. Again, we are talking to Rachel Tietz, who is was an actor on many of those goofy segments that Doug Walker did, a part of the talking about movies in different ways and demonstrating ridiculous things out of a movie in different ways. Like I love that whole devil opening with the cone boobs and like how that like is demonstrating weird things about
the villain from Power Rangers.
Films in a weird and unique way. But yeah. So
let's dive right in on it.
All right. So today we have with us Rachel Tietz. Rachel, who has been in some... It's Tietz, right? Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay,
that's it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I like it's a weird name. With any name with the letter Z in it, I automatically don't know how to pronounce. But anyways, Rachel, who's been in a bunch of Nostalgia Critic stuff, and just tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, where you like. Who are you? Who are we talking to?
Who is Rachel Tietz?
I don't really know, guys.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, off to a good start, right? I started acting out of high school right after high school. I graduated in 2009, and I kind of got tangled into it and loved it, and somehow also got tangled into working with Doug Walker on the internet, and then all of a sudden I'm someone that some people recognize, and I don't know, that's my story.
Okay. Well that's good. That's a good answer right there. That I'm pretty sure you know who you are, Rachel.
Yeah.
So what was your first memory of the internet? Like, because that's one thing that we always ask everybody.
Like internet fandom stuff, you like if you were into any YouTube stuff, or I mean you've obviously probably saw at least one YouTube video before you were on it.
Yeah, I mean YouTube for me was mostly looking up songs or things that I would need to learn. I never realized or knew, I guess at the time, that it was a platform for pretty much anything, and vlogs, and people had channels and stuff like that. I was kind of unaware.
You kind of did when you started to get involved with Doug Walker and his stuff. Like, tell us about how you got involved with that project, and were you familiar with him before you became a part of it?
Absolutely not. I didn't know. It was just I had a buddy who knew I was living in Chicago at the time. And he sent me that link, the video that Doug made, it kind of like the calling all people to audition video. And so my friend happened to be a fan, but he didn't really explain to me anything about it. He was just like, you should go to this. It's an audition. And I was like, great, that's my job. I'm an actor. I go to auditions as much as possible. So I went, and it went well, and I got it. And even then I didn't know the magnitude of what his empire was, for lack of a better term. It didn't really start setting in until people took interest in me on the internet, friend requests, and just people following me and subscribing to a non-existent YouTube channel. That's kind of when I was like, oh, this is kind of big, and then I was in over my head before I even knew where I was.
Well, that must have been like a very unique experience then. I mean, just kind of being wrapped up in something that you had no idea was so colossal at the time. I mean, like, because
it's kind of one of the weird things about the internet is something can be massive and yet nobody knows about it. Like, a lot of people are massive fans.
I find that when I talk to people, they ask, like, what show was I on? And I'm like, you either have no idea what it is, or you're a huge fan and you already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you've either never heard of anything I've done, or you already have my face memorized.
Right, so people, it's very confusing trying to explain it. They're like, oh, I'm not famous. No, by no means, but some people think so. I don't know. It's quite confusing sometimes.
So what was your favorite experience with working with Doug and just that whole entire project?
Oh, my God. I mean... one experience, it's impossible.
well, I mean, you could give us multiple. I mean,
Yeah, we could talk all day.
I don't know how to even answer that. It's just the whole experience, every part of it was really amazing and kind of life-changing unexpectedly. It was kind of my first experience even working with film. So just putting everything aside about, Doug and all that, that's kind of when I realized that I was into it, and that really supported me moving to LA eventually. So it's a really important time period of my life. Yeah, I can't do it. I'm bad
You
at
can't
that.
pick up any, just any story you remember, like any fun thing from something new you experienced.
Oh, okay. So definitely a new thing I experienced was going to conventions.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go to very many, but how I was saying earlier, only a very few people know about the thing. Well, when you're in a convention, it's like everyone in one spot. Not to mention I'm walking behind like Doug Walker and Rob and the whole crew, so people recognized me more than they would have if it was just me. And that was strange and amazing at the same time, but it was absolutely a new experience. It was really, really fun. But it's also very different than getting to show up for filming days. It's just, it's a small group of people. We're all friends. It was less of a work day and more of a play day, if you want to call it that. Got to meet some interesting people. Let's see. Greg Sestero, that was cool to meet him.
Did you ever, think you were going to be part of some internet culture thing? Did you ever even set out, when you were starting your acting career, thinking of something like YouTube being a possibility for a career move? Or did all this just kind of fall on you almost unexpectedly?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just completely unexpected. When I came out of the gate as quote unquote actor, I wanted to do theater. I wanted to end up in New York. And the reason I went to Chicago first is because I didn't feel quite experienced enough, not old enough. So I was like, well, I'll go to a practice city.
Chicago, the practice city. That's a good slogan for them.
Yeah, that should be on their signs.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to insult Chicago, of course, but for me, my personal journey was a practice city on my way. Yeah, and then I found out, it just didn't really work out. I guess I wasn't meant to go to New York yet, and that's cool because that's not something I really want to do at the moment now. So it just kind of everything led me exactly where I feel like I need to be.
So
it's crazy.
So you originally, when you were getting into acting, wanted to do theater, but since working with Nostalgia Critic, have kind of transitioned into wanting to do film then?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. I got into theater as a singer. That's how they got me to join, and then I realized I liked it. But yeah, just he kind of opened up. Doug opened the world of not just online media and all that, but film, because I don't know if he talks about it. If you ask him, he'll say I was so frustrating to work with because I hadn't seen any of the movies that we would review. I don't really watch TV. I never really grew up watching movies. I was more into, the theater and dancing and stuff like that. So it's just a whole new world that I'm really glad I was introduced in this unique way because I have such a deeper respect for it. I was taught, how to do it from the professional side first. So, yeah, it's been very interesting. I'm really thankful to have, been able to find myself in that weird spot.
Well, I mean, with being in that weird place of internet fandom, I mean, you were already kind of talking about it a little bit with going to the conventions and stuff like that. But like, how did it feel to be, having people make fan videos of you and weird fan pages and drawings,
it would probably feel the exact same if you went online and Googled yourself and all that came up. To be like, it's weird because I'm just a person. I'm just another person. I don't necessarily feel like I did much to I guess, deserve it or anything, but it's there. So I'm grateful for it, and I think it's fun. But it's not like, I don't know. It's still really strange, and I think it always will be.
Oh.
But I'm not complaining. You know, I think it's cool.
Well, I'm glad you're not like that'd be kind of a weird thing to complain about.
Right.
Like, oh, people know who I
like
am.
me.
What? I had success.
Well, it's strange.
It's
You know,
weird.
you lose a little bit of privacy after that.
It's true.
At this point, I have to be really careful about what information I put on the internet, about, you know, things like that. If there are hackers or whatever, I'm probably more of a target than if I was a nobody on the internet like I used to be. So I don't know if everyone's noticed, I've kind of slowed down a little bit with my personal projects and things online, because I'm really trying to just get grounded and be very smart about what I share with the interwebs.
Do you think, like, as you're moving into your future career, that being part of internet culture is still going to be a big part of your career? Is that something that you think you're going to keep pursuing, or
absolutely, yeah. I feel like I believe everything kind of happens for a reason. So there's a reason that I ended up in this place. So, you know, I didn't even try to get here, and here I am. So I think once I really decide and solidify what it is what kind of message I want to send out to the world, I think once I get that down, I'll hit the ground running and go for it. I have ideas. I have things that I've been mulling around, talking to people, but, you know, I want to wait for the perfect moment to strike, I guess.
Sounds good.
Sounds very tactical.
Right.
So you were kind of talking about you know, the move to Los Angeles. You know, there was a lot that was involved with that, besides, you know, you actually leaving Illinois. Like, how did people react to you leaving the Nostalgia Critic? Did you get any backlash from that? Did people blame you?
No, honestly, not one. There was not one negative comment. The most I got was, you know, sad to see you leave, but I support you, and that was just exactly what I needed to hear from everybody, because it was a big decision, and obviously moving had much more to do with than just the website. That was just you know, it's more of the public part of my life, but there are of course other reasons to make a big decision like that, but I was the most scared to announce it, because I knew I didn't want to hurt anybody. You know, I didn't want anyone to be sad, or I didn't want to let anyone down. So the fact that everyone really was supportive and they, you know, it made it a lot easier.
Well, going, I guess kind of going backwards in your story a little bit, the first thing you got involved with Doug Walker was his web series Demo Reels, right? And and I know that was definitely something very different for his fans, something that as he was not doing Nostalgia Critic, his fans responded to in some very different ways. So what was it like entering in the fan base from that level, where I know some people were disappointed by what they thought they were getting?
Right. You know, at that point, I don't want to say I didn't care, because that sounds douchey, but it was, you know, I wasn't a big deal, and it didn't really matter. It was just, I went in, I was having fun. It was a new job. Of course, I read the comments, and people don't like change, especially, you know, Doug has been doing it for so long, and he built such a strong base on that particular show that he may have waited a little too long to change. And that's fair, you know, that people tune in for a certain show and then they get something completely different. And we definitely, I'll admit, we had a lot of kinks to work out still. It's hard to put together a full-length show like that. You know, Nostalgia Critic, he gets to do, you know, he writes paragraphs on his own, and I think it was a lot easier than incorporating a bunch of actors and keeping a storyline going and knowing what to cut and how long to make it. It was a work in progress, and unfortunately for someone like Doug, everybody is watching his work in progress diligently.
And everybody is judging a work in progress immediately.
Exactly. So most people work on their project and then, oh, this didn't turn out well, let's scrap it and start over, and then they can present it as a whole. But Doug didn't have that opportunity because he was already in the, the spotlight.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that people were a little flustered about it. And it didn't really hurt my feelings. I'm just an actor.
Well, I think that it's important to showcase that you are basically a part of what arguably would be like that guy with glasses, like weird experimental. I wouldn't say like the worst, because it wasn't. It was far from being like the worst thing on their website, to coming back swinging and being part of Doug's comeback, like ultimate comeback.
Some of the best stuff he produced.
Yeah, like
and that you can't really make a big breakthrough like that for the best if you don't go through something that kind of challenges you or kind of opens your eyes to the fact that maybe it's time to bring in something new, get it Nostalgia Critic Reloaded. So,
exactly, yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean, everything happens for a reason again, and he needed demo reel to not work out so well in order to move forward with what he had, because he's smart in that he knew he needed to change something. So he tried it and then eventually got to the change that he needed, and everything worked out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and honestly, he as you're absolutely right. He's a absolutely brilliant person, especially to come back to something that he thought was mundane and then somehow had like a realization of like, oh wait, I could do this. And it was really cool to see, you and Malcolm like kind of join that cast and help basically tell his stories better. And I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we're talking to you right now.
Well, and I also think an interesting angle that you come from, because again, being somebody who does like who kind of was thrown into being a part of a massive internet thing without really having as much experience with the internet, coming from more of traditional acting stuff, were you at all surprised at some of the stuff you did for the show? Because I mean, being on the internet, you can do anything. So you were doing everything from your like Devil's Daughter character with Kim Kardashian as the mom and the My Little Pony, like, and all these insane crazy characters, and the like, what was it like to be thrown into that ring where you had that absolute freedom to do basically anything?
I mean, that's the goal, man. That's what we all are looking for.
Just to be able to just do what you want.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, I did theater, and I played Belle. I played a princess, and then I played Ula in The Producers, which is just kind of like the slutty bimbo girl. Which I'm not talking down on those roles. It's so fun, but how many actors who come from a classical theater background get to say that I put on like cone boobs and got to yell, like that's the goal. That's what I want to do. I want to.
Your goal is to wear cone boobs.
Yeah, it's done. I can die now.
That's the dream. Meryl Streep wishes she could do that every day, but she just can't.
So I just realized that is not the first time I've worn cone boobs on stage.
Oh, geez.
I did in high school. We did this. It was like a variety show, and I actually was doing a parody of Madonna. So I did the Madonna boobs. So yeah,
okay.
there's pictures.
You are no
there's,
stranger
proof.
to parody and over the top characters.
Exactly, and I was always excited when I got to do that role, and when I got to do something that was funny, and a lot of times I'd say, "I'll let Rachel do it," because she doesn't, she will, and it worked out.
You were the
nice
person.
I like to expand my horizons. I don't want to just play, I don't want to be an ingenue all the time. It's fair.
Yeah, you were the person that they were willing to give just about anything to, because you were willing to just go crazy for any bit, any joke, any role.
Yeah, I mean Malcolm as well, but I think it took a while once we all started to get to know each other and he started to get to know my personality. It was more like it always started tentative, like, so feel free to say no. things like that. Or do you care? And then I'd be like, dude, I don't care. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do it. And then, halfway through our time together, it was just like, all right, you're painting your face green and you're gonna, just things like that. And it was fun. I loved it. I'm not above looking stupid.
Well, you can't be on the internet if you're above looking stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is what. Yes, I can't. I don't think a more truer statement has ever been said on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a little bit of nobility in that. I try and look at things like that to keep me kind of going with this, and not be too shy. Because I want other people to be like, oh, you don't take life so seriously. It's not a serious thing. Just go look stupid or have fun. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's, that's basically a good life lesson already. It's, just don't be afraid to be yourself and to go out there and show your stuff, because you never know. Maybe you'll end up being on a hit web series that changes your life.
Something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, David and I both watched the show, and it's it was very interesting when you came back, or when you went into it, and even when you did come back for like a brief cameo in the Ghost Rider 2 review. I was like, yes, they brought back Evelina.
I know, I'm still kind of crossing my fingers for a free trip to Chicago.
Oh, for real though, that'd be great.
Yeah. Everyone tell him I said that.
Okay. Well, now you'll have to show this to him.
We'll have to do like a hashtag campaign of get Evelina back on the show. Just get another cameo.
Yeah, exactly.
More Evelina.
We need more cone boobs. More
hashtag
cone
more
boobs.
cone boobs.
There you go.
Yeah, it's genius. It's what the internet was made for.
It's for more cone boobs.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, is there anything that you're up to nowadays that you're willing to share with us? I know you were saying that you had like some projects, but I mean, obviously, wanting to keep that door shut until you're ready to reveal it. Is there anything you can reveal, maybe?
I've been one of the main things I've been doing since I've been here is the world of commercial auditioning and commercials. So that's been fun. But if I've been gone for a while from online, that's why I'm kind of focusing on something else. I have a new agent that has been really good to me. So I'm doing that, and all the while just kind of trying to formulate. In LA, there's so many people here doing just that with their ideas, and they're making projects, and everyone is here to do the same thing. So it's really encouraging, and I'm trying to just gain some insight on something that I want to work on, but I don't know.
Meet people and learn.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah, it's all about that networking.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And it's just finding something, I can be very lazy if I don't want to do something, which I think is true for everybody. So I have to wait and make sure that it's something that I'm incredibly passionate about, or else it won't be good enough for me, in my opinion. I don't know. I want to do something with the YouTube thing. I was doing the Rachel Rambles, and I still kind of am, but I think it's more of like I can't even sit through a whole one of those videos. Can't even watch it back. I think it's kind of boring. So I want to bring something more interesting or add some more people or something. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, guys.
Well, we're still figuring out. Like, if there's anything, like, everybody who's had any sort of success has had 1,000 like weird like, not necessarily missteps, but everybody has to try a lot of different things before they find something that really sticks and really lands and gets a big audience.
Yeah, and I think I would say a big mistake that people could make, or that I would make, is going, doing something before you're ready, or doing something just prematurely because you're excited to do it. And, I've done that before. Nothing that I'm, like, not proud of, but I'm just kind of slowing down. I'm older than I was, obviously. So yeah, just we'll see what unfolds.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we have one last question here. Have you seen any like new video or something that like caught your eye off of the internet like recently? Just something to, I don't know.
We like to ask people like a favorite YouTube video or like something recently. Just like we try to end every episode with kind of a YouTube pick of the week. So do you have anything you want to highlight?
Oh no. YouTube. I feel like such a nerd. I use YouTube to listen to some lectures a lot. I know.
Hey, you know what? That's good stuff too.
Yeah, I like psychology, and I like studying the way humans work. I don't know, the human psyche, and that's what drew me to acting. So that's what I use YouTube for. It's really embarrassing. Let's see. Okay, the last video I was looking at, there's an artist named Mike Posner, and he, a while back, he wrote he's a songwriter and a singer, but his songs got bought by like Justin Bieber, and I wish I listened. No, I don't wish I listened to that. But if I knew what the songs were, I could tell you what they are, but I don't. But if you look him now, Mike Posner live, he has his personal songs, and they're not pop songs, and they're very beautifully written, and it's just kind of talking about how, he made $1 million off of that, and it's not really what he thought it would be, and it's this very, very beautiful songwriting that was, I don't want to say exploited, but he became rich by selling it, and then they changed everything about the songs that he wrote, and now he's kind of coming back, Mike Posner live, and kind of bringing out his personality and really explaining what was going on, and it's really beautiful.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Rachel. This was great.
Of course.
But do you have any like Twitter or Instagram or anything that people can follow you to see what to look for in the future?
Yeah, I use Twitter most often at the moment. It's just, at Rachel Tietz. Easy. On Instagram, I'm at Tietz. It's TIEEEEETZ.
All right, so that's 4 E's, everybody.
4 E's, yes.
4 E's.
But you'd be surprised how many people spell my name wrong on the internet. It's kind of funny.
TIETZ.
Well, that's Tate's. Oh wait, you said T.
I said it right.
No, you
said TIETZ.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said TEI.
No.
Tate's.
That's the common mistake.
Okay.
And and you were saying you've got a YouTube channel at all?
Yeah, just Rachel Tietz. Just search my name, you'll find it. It's there. It's been dormant for a while, but it's coming back.
Look, keep an eye on it for what comes in the future. All right. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. Thanks again. This has been really fun.
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Honestly, I was really nice having her on the show. Maybe one day she'll come back. And it's really interesting that she didn't really have many stories to tell about being on set. But then again, like, I think that just comes with her not realizing what she was in until she was already in it.
Well, and that's one of the cool things that, like, I learned from that from talking to her. And, like, one of the things that I didn't think about is, well, you're involved in the acting world. Like, but that is the way that the internet is, like, to that world. Like, there's a lot of people still foreign with the idea that you can have a career on the internet. There's a lot of people who don't realize, like, hey, I can be an actor and be in goofy YouTube stuff, and that's still acting, and it still works, and I'm still, like, I'm still practicing my craft, but I'm also still building a career and building an audience, and and that's something that I never, like, I guess it never really occurred to me that not everybody's life revolves around the internet.
Well, pretty soon it will be. Like, everybody's life, I mean, everybody's life is being born into the internet now. Like, babies are using phones.
Yeah.
Babies having babies. But yeah, it's a very interesting time we live in, David.
Mm-hmm.
And, hopefully someday we'll be able to get Doug Walker on the show. I'd love to pick his brain about how he was going into this whole internet thing, and yeah. So David, I think it's that time for the YouTube pick of the week.
Is it that time?
I think it's that time.
Feel like I wish we had like theme music here. We were just like just some sort of like trumpet horn of just like no YouTube videos. You know what? Any internet, if anybody wants to like make some horns for us, that sounded way
That
awful.
sounded so wrong. How about if anybody wants to create a fanfare
Ooh,
for
there you
us, send it to thanksinternetpodcast@gmail, right?
No, it's Thanks Internet Podcast.
Oh, Thanks Internet Podcast.
Come on, you
I
gotta
don't-
know your own email.
I don't check it.
You know what?
Who uses
You
the
know what?
internet?
What Michael is saying is that he doesn't care about our listeners.
That is absolutely true. I do not care about a single one of you. I adore every single one of you. I don't just care. I love.
So, pick of the week. Okay, I'm gonna say something. Somebody posted this on Facebook recently, and I can't stop listening to it. It's just the happiest thing in the world. Just look up bacon pancakes, and it'll be the first. No. It's bacon pancakes New York. It'll be the first video you see when you type in bacon pancakes New York. It's just a little like 45-second song thing, and it'll make you so happy.
It's pretty magical.
It's wonderful.
Thank you, internet.
What about you, Michael? All
right. Well, I'm on the opposite. Actually, no, I'm not even on the opposite. I'll share a song too. So Neil Cicierega, I hope I pronounced that right. He did Potter Puppet Pals, Brody Quest, and he was part of Lemon Demon, Ultimate Showdown, Ultimate Destiny. He does mashup songs that are hilarious and fun. And if you type in Bustin' and like Bustin' song Neil, probably like Neil, you'll probably find what I'm talking about. It's basically the Ghostbusters theme, but totally not. And that's all I can really say about that. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Check it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to start doing that I just decided that I haven't said on previous episodes, but I'm going to say now?
What?
Is that also look at our Twitter page and you will see links for these videos that we talk about. I'll post them like within a couple days of like within a day or two of the episode being released.
Ooh, progressive.
So then we can go. I know. You know what would be a good idea? Is if we're making a podcast talking about the internet, to use the internet to talk about the podcast. Talking about the internet.
No, you crazy. You're so crazy. No. Okay, all right.
Speaking of the internet, where can people find you on it?
Well, I'm glad you asked. If you go to @Arctic_Ginger on Twitter, you will find me there. And if you go to Instagram and type in @MichaelWilliamHunter, you'll find me there. Honestly, if you just Google Michael William Hunter, you'll find all of my stuff. I'm on IMDb under the same name, Facebook under the same name, and just shoot me a comment, shoot me a tweet, follow me. I'll reply to you right back.
And you can follow me on Twitter @DavidWSpencer, where I tweet. Yeah, that's what people do on Twitter, right? They post stuff. I post stuff on Twitter. You can follow it. So you can follow us on Twitter @TYInternetPod. That's @TYInternetPod. We'll go ahead and post all the videos that we talk about there, as well as, talk about the show, and you can talk about us there, and You can also email us at thanksinternetpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And again, any email we get, we will read on the show. In fact, you know what? Send us a tweet. We'll mention it on the show.
There you go.
Just do anything, and we'll mention it on the show.
If you can prove that you followed every single thing we've plugged,
If you get "Thank You Internet" tattooed on your chest, I guarantee you we will share it on the show.
yeah, you will receive no other compensation than your face.
No other compensation, but I guarantee you we will talk about it on the show.
We will
We'll
even
say, like, some dude got a tattoo of my face on their face.
We will start a YouTube channel just to have that picture as the only video.
Only video.
The only video.
It's just that picture.
And it'll just
For 10
be
hours.
your for 10-hour version of the just like and like the same free use song over and over and over again.
Speaking of music, I forgot to mention this the last 2 episodes, but I'm going to mention it now. Our music is The Saddest Beach by Silent Partner, which you can find at the YouTube audio library, which is a great collection of free music to use. Yeah.
Ooh.
And you know what? Yeah. And also, subscribe to us, review us on iTunes. Subscriptions really help us get more found on iTunes. Reviews, ratings, they really, really, really help. And yeah, so go do that thing.
If you like what you hear and you like what we are talking about with people from the internet and you want to see us get larger people from the internet,
get more people, get lots of different people.
So much people, all the people. Please subscribe on iTunes, leave us comments. Honestly, the more of a fan base we can get, the larger we will be noticed by other people, and
the more likely we can get everybody awesome.
Exactly, and I think the more they'll feel like their time is worth coming on the show. So so let's make that happen, internet.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Psy Duckstep. I want to see Psy Duckstep.
Yeah. Yeah, Psyduck dubstep.
Psyduck meets dubstep, and
Yeah,
only using sound bites from Psyduck.
You know, instead of asking people to do it, why don't you just do it?
I am lazy, and I don't want to do that.
And with that, thank you for listening, and thank you. Hey guys, this is David. Just wanted to give you guys a quick message about our release times. Last week we put out an episode on a Monday when we put another episode out the Friday before that. This one's not going out till Thursday because of some crazy scheduling. So basically, we're still trying to figure out our release format. Thank you guys so much though for your patience, for all 3 people who are probably listening at this point, just for letting us figure out our release times. And I also want to let you know that there may not be an episode next week, as I will be in Alaska. We will try to find some time to record and podcast, but you never know. Me and Michael are pretty busy people, but we will do our best to get some content out there, and we will nail down that release date soon. Thank you so much, and here's a clip of me forgetting what our Twitter name was. I forgot our Twitter handle.
Well, who cares about the audience now,
No.
David?
Let me look it up. I think it's at Thanks Internet, or is it at Thank You Internet? Or it's TY Internet.
Well, I mean, that's
No.
what I hashtag. I hashtag TY Internet.
Hashtag TY Internet?
Yeah. So, I mean, it should be like...
Nope. It's at TY Internet.
Oh, it is?
No, it's not. What the heck is this?